In terms of the broader Labor situation, Stephen Conroy, have things settled down off the back of last week in the reshuffle?
Well, I think the size and the strength of that reshuffle played well for Albo. I think he took the hard decision, which I mentioned a little while ago. He moved Butler, which allows Labor Party to refresh and take a pair of new eyes, fresh eyes to the troubles here. There are other options that Labor can look at, and I look forward to Chris Bowen working his way through all of the issues to try and settle that one for the Labor Party. I mean, the Prime Minister, I think Labor needs to be really careful here. The Prime Minister is starting to shuffle towards the middle on one of Labor's signature issues. He could neutralise one of Labor's key issues if he is successful in that little bit of shuffling of his shoes towards the centre. Labor is much quieter following that reshuffle. I think Albo has bought himself plenty of time. And having said that, the way the party rules are structured make it very difficult for a challenge. You need to lodge a rules change 7 days in advance for the caucus to consider changing the rules on how you elect a leader. So there's no sort of surprise coup possible here.
Sure.
And for those who speculate about this, they need to take a Bex and have a good lie down.
On that climate front, Michael, it is another example of the pragmatism of the PM. It's one of his very significant political strengths, I think.
Well, look, that's absolutely right. Morrison is ruling in the John Howard tradition of the centre-right. The Liberal Party, to cut a long story short, it doesn't work if you rule just from the right, and it certainly doesn't win if you rule from the centre. And Morrison is governing from the centre-right, and that is over, almost 100 years of history, 80 years of history in the Liberal Party, the place from which to govern. And he is moving in that direction. And, Morrison has surprised everybody on the upside since he took the leadership, quite frankly. He's been a stunning success during the 6 months campaign leading up to the election, and he's been repeatedly ahead in the polls, and I think has done an exceptional job during this crisis, despite not having a lot of power, because the state's been running things. So he's done an outstanding job, and he's, of course, he's been well supported by Frydenberg and Hunt, who have been also outstanding during the last 8 months. Kieran, just back on Stephen's point, can I just go back on this leadership thing? I mean, this is a fascinating point that Stephen's made. You see all this talk all day long about leadership changes in Labor. Well, they have to get 60%, as Stephen has just said, to change the rules. Now, Stephen, I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, no one has 60% to change the rules at the minute. So Albanese's going to stay there.
Yeah, I think that the core assumption there, it's 50% to change the rule and 60%
to change the leadership. Sorry,
to change the leadership. But at the moment, I don't know anyone would have 50% to change the rule. The left as a bloc are completely behind this rule. But this is, again, a reason why people need to take a Bex and a good lie down.
OK. All right. Well, let's do it. We'll go, maybe not a lie down this early, but great to chat to you, Stephen and Michael.
All right, mate.
As always, we'll see you next week.